Okay, so Martin, shall we start?
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. So if you can, just start by telling us a little bit about you and your background before you started your project.
I'm like the director of Pilotenküche. Pilotenküche is an international art program, and it's like organized from artists for artists. And this is actually like our approach or where our spirit is coming from. So we are not like ordinary or typical culture manager.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a different aim or a different idea about it. And it's like very simple because given the fact that we are like doing something by artists for artists, we want to change as a cultural system in the direction for the artists.
Yes, I perfectly understand, and that is actually why I want to understand a little bit more about the philosophy like behind the concept, and why did you actually choose this model of artists for artists? So, what is like the philosophy, and why did you choose this artists for artists approach?
Actually, like to say something about the commercial fact. So we are not against every commercial aspect in the world. This would not be correct. I always say like a fair business is a good business, yeah. Mm-hmm. And but what means fair and so on. Like perhaps the difference is like the typical capitalistic profit-oriented business, and the business which is fair, which means more like in exchange that we are doing something together.
Yeah.
Important for the philosophy of Pilotenküche is, of course, the artistic approach that this is our perspective. Mm-hmm. So we can understand artists actually and how they are working, how they are feeling, yes, and so on. And I didn't really choose it because I didn't found Pilotenküche. Yeah, Pilotenküche was founded in 2007 by Christoph Meyer, and I simply was in Pilotenküche 2014, and I became the assistant director and later the director. And I simply kept on this philosophy because I was very attracted by this. But of course, I was like more focusing on this, or I boosted it a bit more. I made it more, in a kind of intense and. I was like increasing the range to a transdisciplinary approach. So like to include different perspectives. Yeah, to art.
That sounds pretty impressive, and I really love the approach you're having and the philosophy and the way you actually kept it for this long. I think it's around 10 years that it's been founded now. I mean, since 2007. Yeah, that's almost 10 years.
So, yeah, it's 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So when is the anniversary? Is it going to be any kind of party?
No, we already had the anniversary, but like in my idea, Pilotenküche, the project had like a dream, and the dream was like a bigger space. And this is why I was simply organizing a much more bigger space, and I was remodeling the space on like a high luxury. Yeah. And say, okay, on a better or highly remodeled level. And made everything with the own hands. And now like Pilotenküche has for me, it's like a palace for artists. And this is also the feedback the artists gave us. Like, this is the most wonderful studio I was ever working. So this was a gift to Pilotenküche for the 10th birthday.
That's great. That's great. And how big is the space? Because I saw some pictures of it's a factory that you reworked, right?
Yes, but Pilotenküche is not the whole factory. Yeah, it's just one floor, and it's around 500 square meter big. So 10 to 12 artists of the International Residence Program are working there, and of course my team.
That's great. That's great. And how big is the team currently?
Yeah, at the moment I'm working together with a coordinator and a program designer. So like the center team is like 3 people together with me. And during each round we have like running an internship program. This means we have 2 interns which are assisting the coordination or me and the directorate or the curator, because this is also new from 2018. A curator will directly work together with the artists. In the past we did that, yeah.
Awesome.
And now this is different. So the team is big, like, the maximum is like 6 people.
Okay, so it fluctuates depending on the need and the operations. And that brings me to my next question. So for the people that are listening to the podcast, they pretty much got the whole philosophy and vision of Pilotenküche. But what about the day-to-day activities? if you can just give us examples of residencies you're having or projects you're working on.
Yeah, perhaps like usually it's like we have 4 rounds a year consisting of 10 to 12 international residents, 2 interns, 1 curator, and 2 local participants, and we are facilitating an art program. And this consists of that we are organizing exhibitions, that we are visiting other artists, galleries, museums, that we are spending time together and keeping a dialogue during these 3 months, like focusing on the artwork, on the production, giving also daily help, like with finding apartments or with helping like usual situations. And a week is very simple. We have like a program day, and on this day we are facilitating or doing like these visits and so on. But we also have like regular group meetings, or we are meeting with the artists for consultations, talking about the art.
Awesome.
This is very gross schedule.
Yeah, that sounds really great, and the activities are pretty interesting. So that brings me to another question that I would like to ask about how are you able, to sustain such an organization? Are you having any kind of premium services you guys are selling to compensate them all, or are you relying more on sponsoring? How does it work?
This is different from case to case, but the usual system is that the artists are to the artists is a partial stipend provided by us. So it's directly coming from me and my hands. In exchange, an artwork is going into the collection of the project. The rest is organized by external funding. And therefore, we have like a funding gate. We are giving assistance and so on. And this is only one option. Some people, I had this experience, are like financed by private economy, by private connections or whatever, or they are coming with crowdfunding. So it's 50-50 actually in the end. So 50% the artist and the other 50% is provided by the project.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great as a model, and I think I asked you a bit too many questions, but I still have. I would like to know more, like if Pilot leans towards a type of arts, or is it objective and it floats depending on the project that's come in and out. By type of arts, I mean, is it more of paintings related project, or music, or just for the people that are listening now to the podcast, the podcast that they can situate it?
Yeah, this is a good question, and I have a simple answer. We love diversity. So we are like open for any disciplines of visual arts, and we are also opening this border a bit and inviting people who are working in the direction of sound. I also would be happy to invite like authors or people who are more writing. We also had like people who are working on the interface of science and visual arts. That, of course, it's more focused on visual arts, actually, like painting, installation, sound, performance, like everything. Because, we love the diversity of disciplines and things. And this is why, like, every round of artists is very colorful.
Awesome. That sounds really great. Diversity, embracing diversity. So, one last question: like, why actually running such a project? Why Pilot Ma9ha? What is its impact on the society? It's pretty wide as the question. I warned you.
Like to the city, it's like I was calculating this in a time, and like Pilot Ma9ha is a bridge, and in my dream, Pilot Ma9ha will become like an airport in the future. But you need like to recognize that through Pilot Ma9ha, through this bridge, came like 25 to 40% of all international artists who stayed in Leipzig. So you meet very often people who said, "Hey, I also was in Pilot Ma9ha," and this is wonderful because we connect the people to the city. We are bringing them together with the social hub actually, and it's wonderful. It's like I call it the Pilot Ma9ha sickness, that the people stay here, and then after they are changing the cultural structure, they are changing the society here. And of course, indirectly, Pilot Ma9ha. This is, I think, one of the most important facts. But we are also, because of we are here and given the fact what we are doing, we are also changing the cultural display of Leipzig.
Awesome. Awesome. That is really great, Martin. Thank you very, very much for your time. It was super insightful, and we wish you all the luck of the universe for whatever is going to come next.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.